weirdo. Hey guys, this is Parker. Thought I'd give you a quick tour if you're wanting to build a trike. This is some tips and from this build that I'll share with you. So we got this trike from Facebook Marketplace. There's actually 2 kids' bicycles, and we chopped it up and kind of set it back together how we wanted it, and I'll give you a quick tour of it. So first off, the handlebars, they're just a 3/4 inch conduit. Just bend it if you have a bender and weld it back together. You tell I'm not a welder, so it's not that great, but it sticks. The fork, I just chopped this off on the old bike, put some flat bar there, and ran just 1-inch steel pipe, black steel pipe, down the front of it. Once again, just flat bar. The shocks, show you how that's assembled. Little cut up piece of flat bar. Just put a spring in there. This is loose, so when it hits anything, it just kind of bounces. Front hub, just little spacers in there. Tighten it up. Should be good to go. These are off Wish, just spray painted them gold. This is all the same as the original bike. Just took it apart and spray painted it. If you have a younger child or somebody not as strong, if you put a smaller sprocket right here, it will be easier to pedal, but it's not too bad. The center axle and sprocket is the huge pain in the butt that you have to build. I mean, if you can't find where to buy one, this is what you do. So this is a 3/4 inch pipe. I took a part of a hub off like a mountain bike or something, put it there, and this original one, you can see it's all wavy and bowed. If you weld that all together without kind of spot welding at first, it will warp this thing crazy. But it turns out I didn't need that anyway. I built a new one. I welded it better. I cut it up and then spot welded it, and then once it kind of cooled down, I finished welding it. These are the off of the back hubs. They're they hold the bearings in there, so I put those back in. You kind of see how that all is assembled. So this is from a bike axle, nut, bearing housing with that little spacer, and the other part of the bearing housing, pipe. You kind of see what we're looking at here. Back here you need a chain tensioner. Just made that out of 2 washers and a 3/4 pipe. That's kind of self-explanatory also why you need that, so it kind of hops that back frame. Then build this back frame. This little U part in here, if you don't have that, the bike will kind of rock back and forth that way, so you have to have that. And little axle mounts. These you could purchase. I got these at Northern Tool. This again, 3/4 inch pipe. It's not ideal. It doesn't have the right diameter for this this little bearing housing. So I used aluminum like the duct tape, wrapped it around a few times, and it's perfect now. So more used bike parts. There's the frame of one of the, or not the frame, the fork of one of the old bikes. These little decorations are just, that was off a lamp, not a big deal. One of the things you got to know if you're doing this trike, if these are both tight and attached to the axle, it won't turn very well. So you have to have one loose and one tight so that it's a single wheel drive, and that'll solve a lot of problems for you. So let me show you. There's the chain, how it's lined up. Front chain lined up. A lot of trial and error with that. Also, here's a better look at this center support. If you don't have that, your bike will sag and the chains will pop. So you got to build some sort of frame for that. For the seats, let me give you a better look under here. It's plywood, then another piece of plywood, then foam, and then I stretched this fabric over the foam, stapled it, and then on the other side of this board are little nuts that you could bolt into that are stuck to the other side. You buy those at, you know, Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Lobby, Lowe's or Home Depot. Bolt it through the frame. You see that? Same thing with the top. And let's see, little handles, just vintage kind of cruiser handles, bought off of eBay, like $2 or something. And yeah, that's it. Chain tensioners down here. You may or may not need those. I put them on just so that this isn't scooching back and forth. After everything all tightened up, probably get a little chain tensioner. You could make one, pretty easy to make. Yeah, there you go. That's the Trike. Thanks for checking it out.